Hello, music lovers! Welcome to the Squiggle Spin,
Squiggly.
brought to you by Rock the Alphabet here on MM Radio.
That's it.
Coming to you each Friday at 12 p.m. U.S. Central Time, 6 p.m. in the UK, and 7 p.m. in the EU.
Oh, it's like inside. I know your real name. I know your real name. Most people don't know your real name.
Bringing to you the best from our featured indie artists, their featured songs, and now, for this season, interviews with your favorite indie bands.
I'm glad you asked that question.
And where can you find this?
Oh, that's easy.
It's right here on the Squiggle Spin.
Music brings people together.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy, because you're into the spin. And now, your featured song. Hey music lovers, Squiggly Myers here for Rock the Alphabet with another Backstage Pass interview. On the line, I've got Heather from the band Shallowpoint. How's it going, Heather?
It's going good. How are you doing?
Doing great. Glad to have you on the line.
Yes, I'm excited to finally talk to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's been a while, so yeah, it's a good thing we finally got a chance to do this, being Facebook friends for like over 7 years now.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Getting up there in years. But let's get to these questions and have people learn a little more about Shallowpoint. So,
Sure.
how did the band get started?
We basically started out a group of friends and family. One of the guys we'd been friends with since high school. The other one, the original drummer, was Chuck's cousin. And we sort of started out as a cover band, at our house on Saturday nights. We started playing covers, and we, we kind of incorporated, our own original songs in. As we were playing, we would come up with things and write music.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's basically how we got started.
And how long ago was that?
Oh, it was, I would say, anywhere from 10 to 15 years ago. At least, or probably more like 12 to 15 years.
Wow. Okay.
And we played around town as a cover band and at the time, I specifically remember we had like 3 original songs, and we would just put those in with the covers, and played around town quite a bit as a cover band. We had a lot of luck as a cover band. We did really well, but we just kept writing our original songs as we were going, and eventually we had a whole set of originals,
Right.
too. So
Well, that's cool. Well, that's pretty much how a band starts to grow. You start writing your own stuff and introducing it little by little. So that's cool.
yeah.
How did you guys come up with the name for the band?
Shallowpoint basically it derives from a low place in life, and now Chuck, he kind of looks at it as an imaginary place, in life.
Right.
And he said, when you watch our videos, you'll kind of can put that together, like the highs and lows of life and stuff like that. He said, like, Broken Life is a good example of where we got our, name from, the song Broken Life. So
That's cool. Yeah, a lot of people can relate with that, and we've all had our lower points in life, our shallow points. But it's good that you guys use your music to help people, work through those things, and that's great. Some of the songs that I've heard, they floored me the first time I heard them. I was like, wow, this is cool. This is it's not your ordinary rock band. They're trying to project a little positivity in the world, and that's something that we all need, I think.
Yes, definitely. In this day and age, for sure.
Definitely. Definitely. Oh, that's cool. You guys have been together for 10, 15 years. What are some of the band's goals then, since you've been around for a while?
Well, in some ways, we feel like we've kind of already done it all. It's like we've done a lot. I mean, I don't know what else we can do other than just continue to write music and play shows when we can, and stuff like that. Right now, in particular, we are buckled down in writing mode, big time.
Okay.
And cool. I would say he's got 60 songs easily, and then we're doing a cover song that's going to be a surprise. And I got to pick it for once. I actually got my way for once. I get to do a song that I've wanted to do forever, so yeah, I'm really excited about that.
That's cool.
We've already got the drums are already recorded for it. Some of the guitar parts that one will be the first one to come out, probably. And we may actually just record that one at home. We're working on it now. We're going to see that's something we haven't done a lot of, as far as like actually releasing our own recordings.
Right.
And then it's mostly because we don't have the time to do it, It takes a lot of time to, record something and get it sounding really good,
Right, yeah,
so,
right.
It's kind of an experiment song for us, so it'll be kind of something different. We've not ever recorded a cover song. We played them a long time ago, but we didn't. This will be like the first cover song we've actually ever released professionally, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. You're excited about that. That's great.
I'm really excited about it. And like I said, it was because, no one could ever agree on anything when we were trying to, decide on things to do like that. And now I'm just like, I can actually won somehow. I mean, I actually want, they actually went with what I wanted to do for once.
Well, I guess you were due.
Even Chuck, and he's a stubborn individual now. I mean, like, if he doesn't like something, he is not going to do it. But you're a Taurus.
Yeah, the stubborn gene is in there. That's for sure. Well, that's cool. That's great. You guys keep writing music and keep going forward, and that's great. Hopefully we get to see you guys out on tour sometime. Maybe if you guys come out towards this area, with me.
I'd love it.
Here in Texas, or with Chris over there in Colorado. That'd be great.
Yes, it would.
So that's cool.
We're definitely going to Colorado. I don't know when yet, but that is one area we will definitely be hitting when we do get back out.
Cool.
And probably Texas would be a good area too. So, hopefully we will get down there one day. That would be awesome.
It would be, yeah, definitely. Now you guys have played a few festivals in the past, so I mean you guys got that, you got the tour bug in you, I know.
Oh yeah, it's something that I call being a musician is almost like a sickness, because you get addicted to those highs, in life,
Right.
And I think a lot of people can't really, just my observations and opinions, I've seen people they can't deal with that coming down off of those highs,
Right.
Because it's almost like even when you go on vacation and you've had a really good time and then you come home and you got to go back to life,
Right.
It's that feeling, It's that same thing when you play a really good show and then you go, ooh, I'm not going to go back to life,
Right,
so,
right.
The people have a hard time with that part of it, but we've gotten kind of used to that, and also we are happy in our regular day-to-day life,
Right.
I think that's the big key that people miss, in doing this, is that you have to be able to put it in perspective and be happy at home, not even playing music. Obviously, musicians love to play music, but,
Well, there should be a healthy balance between the two. So, yeah, I understand completely what you're saying. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Some of the shows you guys have played, are deep in there in the skin. So that's cool.
We've had a lot of fun at those festivals now. They really are the funnest things I've played, pretty much. Because not like, what a lot of people miss about that, it is expensive for a band to go play a festival. But if you think about what the tickets would cost 4 or 5 people, just to get in for the whole weekend to see the festival itself,
right?
Then the expense is really not. It really isn't that expensive, because when you're done playing, you get to watch all the rest of the bands.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
Little ones and big ones. I mean, like, I met some really good longtime friends at one of those festivals, in person, that I've been friends with on Facebook for a long time,
Cool.
And just stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand. They think that these bands are making a lot of money playing these, and it really isn't that. Because, but the enjoyment that you get from it, it more than makes up for that in the end. Because like you're saying, you get to meet a lot of cool people and spend that time, making new friends and. Cool.
Yes. Yeah, I've met tons of people at those festivals, so we're still friends on Facebook. It's really cool actually to meet people that you've been friends with 5 or 6 years or more on Facebook. That's really, really, really cool. But
right. You guys got to meet was it Vinnie Paul? I think it was.
Yeah, we played with Paul a long time ago, and met Vinnie Paul and Chad Gray from Mudvayne.
Wow.
Yeah. See, things like that to me is just like, these guys are my heroes,
Right.
I mean, there's a reason I play music, and so when you actually get to open up for your heroes and meet them and hang out with them backstage and stuff after the show,
right.
I mean, that's like the coolest thing ever,
Yeah.
Now, some of them are not all that friendly, and some of them are really friendly, so it just depends on who it is. But
right. Well, that's cool. That's great memories made there with different people. And that's awesome. I remember my days of touring and stuff too, and I got to get some people that are smaller bands and stuff like that. But it was a good time, and I'm glad to have those memories with me. So
yes, you can't take that away. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
We'll always be there, and those are the type of days that really, are in my head. That the ones that I'll never forget. That was one of my favorite shows we played. Was that show?
Right.
And
right. Wow.
It
cool.
was something you don't forget.
Well, you've mentioned you've done some recordings and stuff, and getting your songs out there. And so, what is life like for Shallowpoint in the studio?
Well, the way we do things is probably different than the way a lot of people do them. I don't know how other people do them, but we basically write most of our songs, at home, and we do what we call demos, scratch track recordings of these songs, and then we take them to our producer and we go in and we record them professionally. That's the way we usually do things. And so time spent with him is pretty expensive, so you're pretty much working the whole time you're in there. There is a lot of playing around because he's fun and he's funny and we have a good time in there, but
cool.
I love recording with him. Well, I've known him forever, so me and Chuck have known him forever, so we're all real comfortable together and we work well together and stuff like that.
Cool. But, having a good chemistry always helps. That's very cool.
Yeah, it does, yeah. And we bounce ideas off of each other, like if he hears something in our song that he thinks, let's just say it sounds like something else he's heard before. And see, that's the good thing about having an independent ear like that,
Yeah.
They hear things and they'll be like, ooh, that might be a little too close to something else, so we need to change this, or it may just be like, this would sound really cool with this bass part here, this keyboard here, whatever.
Right.
Our songs are basically written when we go in, and so the basic song and structures and vocals and all that's there, but sometimes we do change them around if we like it better, and he comes up with an idea and we're like, yes, that's awesome,
Cool.
But and if we don't like it, we're like, no, let's just leave it the way it is. He's really super cool to work with, and I don't know why, but I mean, it can be really hard too, because he's trying to get the best out of you.
Right.
He'll make you pull really hard, or he'll make you sing it different. Like he wants the emotion.
Right. Oh, that's the sign of a good producer. Someone who will push you, to get the best out of you. That's great.
Yeah. You may not always like it, and it's funny because Squiggly, he's a Taurus too, by the way.
Oh,
and so
okay.
him and Chuck together, and they're like, Chuck, they don't butt heads, but he'll be like trying to get Chuck to do something, and it's just funny. You would have to be there. I intend the next time we go in, I'm going to try to get a lot of video.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm sure there's a good tug of war going. I mean, you don't butt heads, but you still pull. So yeah, that'd be interesting to see that. So. Yeah, there you go. Wow.
3. Because I'm one.
Right. Yeah. It's a good club. Now I know Chuck plays guitar. Does he do lead as well, or just rhythm?
He does both. He has actually, this time around, we're pretty much writing all the music. Just me and Chuck are writing all the music.
Okay.
This time. Now, of course, the drummer will be writing his own stuff, of course.
Right.
But everything else that you will hear in these next songs will have been written by me and Chuck and the drummer, basically.
Okay, cool.
But Chuck actually has a solo in one of these songs that I think is killer, and I'm excited. I love it. So these songs are really turning out really good. I can't even tell you how excited I am. But it will take a while because he's still working on lyrics.
Right.
The music's pretty much all there for all of them right now. I mean, I'm the demos,
Right. Oh, now you're getting my anticipation going.
Well, he's like, the lyric, that tends to slow him down because he wants what... See, Chuck and I really are pretty adamant about trying to put out positive messages in this world. I don't like negativity. I don't like... the world just has enough negative stuff in it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But he's really picky about lyrics. So he will be writing those lyrics probably for a couple of months on 6 songs. So,
right.
They're basically there, but he's still tweaking on them. He'll tweak for quite a while.
And that's the nature of a musician. We will tweak and tweak and tweak, and at one point we have to say to ourselves, you know what? Let go. Because if we don't let go, it'll never get out.
It's true. At some point you do have to do that, and that's another thing that is really funny with musicians, because I think a lot of people have music and songs that people may never hear because they just never are satisfied, with how they come out. And at some point you have to say, okay, this is it.
Right.
Just a healthy balance with it,
Yeah. But that's cool, that he puts his heart into it, and that's what counts. When someone does that, it reaches people in different ways. So that's cool.
As far as negative, putting negative vibes out in the world and stuff like that with music. Now, I'm not going to say we won't have a couple of angry songs, because we are human and we have anger. It's just one of the emotions.
Well, we're Taurus.
Well,
the Taurus, it's gonna come out eventually.
It is, and it comes out in music. I mean, really, what better way for it to come out,
Well, I've always saw music as a form of therapy, not just for the people listening, but for the one writing.
Yeah, it's true. It is.
Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah. Now you play bass. Who does the keyboards? I mean, there's a lot of keyboard work there.
Well, in the past, our good friend Jason Drake, he's a drummer too, and he played a lot of shows with us and wrote with us on the Fractured album and stuff, and he is a keyboard player. Now, I play keyboards too, and actually so does Chuck.
Okay.
But this time, as of the moment right now, Chuck has written the keyboards on the parts in these songs. Can you hear the rain here?
Yeah.
It is really loud. I'm going to go in so you don't have to hear rain.
Oh, no, that's fine. I mean, my dogs are wrestling under the house. I don't know if you can hear that, but like what? Why? And it's funny because every time I come into this, the neighborhood could be dead silent, and the minute I turn on my recording equipment, all hell breaks loose.
Of course.
Like, why? It's not.
They want their little voices heard.
Well, of course. Yeah, so that's cool. Man. And you're a dog lover, so you understand.
Oh yes, I love the dogs.
We've got 5 of them, so that's more than enough.
Oh yeah, that's a handful for sure. I've only got 1 dog right now, and I did have a lot of dogs, but when we started traveling, playing with the band, I was like, every time we had to go somewhere, it's finding people to take care of the animals. So we had a goat and, just various guinea pigs. We had everything.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, so going places and touring was kind of hard with a bunch of animals. So after our oldest dogs passed away, I wasn't going to get any more dogs. And somebody came in with this little puppy, and he's like, "You want him?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, I want him." And he was the cutest thing ever seen. And I took him home, and I came in and I left him out in the car for a minute. I came in and I told Chuck, I said, I got something. He's like, "It better not be a dog." And I was like, "It's a dog. It's a puppy." He goes, "You've got to be kidding. Please tell me you didn't go get a puppy. Please tell me you didn't get him." And I come in with this puppy, and he goes, "Oh," and that's all.
That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote.
And that dog is his best friend, and so.
Yeah, we
have 1 dog now. That's the only pet I have, and so when we go out of town, I have a friend that watches him usually, but.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of him on Facebook, and yeah, he's adorable, man. That's great.
He's loaded with personality. He's a really good dog. I mean, we got so lucky with him because he's just a really good dog. He's really intelligent and never gives us a problem with anything. Good boy.
That's good. Cool. Well, we've got a couple more questions, but this next question, we usually leave it for last because it's one of those real thinkers, if you had to pick and you'd be stuck on a desert island, what album would you pick to have there and why?
I would say probably Metallica, Master of Puppets. And nice. I would just love that whole album from front to back is amazing, Yeah. I can listen to it. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to it in my lifetime, but I can listen to it on a desert island, for probably ever if I had to. But Metallica, a lot of people go on and on about Metallica. They can say whatever they want to say, but you know what? That band is really the reason I started playing music.
Same
I
here.
heard them. Oh, that's amazing. I want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I still can't do that, but I do my best at it.
Same here. That's their best album, I think. That in the beginning, with the late Cliff Burton, handling the bass lines and stuff, and now that's just. He was phenomenal. I mean, that guy was out of this world. That's a great album. I liked. I got to see them in Chicago when I was a kid, and with Jason for the and Justice for All tour that they did, and yeah, they floored me. I was hooked, from day one. So yeah, as they went along, and I noticed how they evolved along with the music, and they didn't let anything hold them back. A lot of bands, they don't last too long because they run out of ideas because they're trying to hold on to something, that they started with, and you can't really do that. You have to, a person grows, so should a band. And if the band grows along with the person, then you get what you see with Metallica. I'm sure what we'll be seeing from Shallowpoint. You guys have been around a while, and that's great, and continuing to write music and stuff, and that's awesome.
I figure we will probably always write music because that's just one of the things we love to do. I mean, it's just, playing music and writing music. It's just one of the things we were pretty much feel like we were born to do, and we do it so naturally too that it would be a waste not to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, I've got.
As you know, it's a lot of work too. A lot of work in it, but it's rewarding work, I guess you could say.
It is really. A lot of people they consider wealth to be monetarily, but wealth isn't just money. One could have just what the basic things that you need, as long as you have health and a good family and something that occupies your time that you enjoy. You're a wealthy person. That's what I.
If you don't have your health and your family and loved ones, you really have nothing.
Yeah. So that's great, and then with the band, you guys are together all the time. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's times when you want just to be by yourself, jump in the pool or something, but you always gravitate back to that because that's what music does. Music brings people together, and as long as we can keep singing and keep playing, that's why my phrase is always that life is short, and turn the music up, because that's that's what matters in the end. So yeah.
And I think a lot of people lose sight of that part of it, and I know we have before ourselves, just because when it gets more serious, and it somehow loses the fun and the magic that it used to have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think finally found that again this time because I don't know. We just feel really at peace and happy with what we're doing now, and I feel like basically, and I hate to say it like this, but there's no one really to answer to. We can do everything on our own time. There's no deadlines. There's no pressure. And we don't work very well under pressure. Chuck and I don't. Tauruses can't be pressured.
Yeah, I can relate.
We just sort of do it now as we want to, and it's I think it makes for a lot happier us. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. You found that niche in your lives that keeps you occupied and keeps you happy. Then, hey, more power to you. Keep going. Keep going.
As I tell you, as far as making a living off of it, it's almost impossible these days. It's you put 4 or 5 people on the road, and you've seen the price of things. It's not easy. One thing I can say, as a band, we've stayed out of debt. We're not in debt because of the band.
Right.
I think a lot of people, run up credit cards or whatever they got to do, but ours is always everything we've ever done just been paid for as we do it. So that's a nice thing too, and I have to have that to worry about, But we're pretty happy right now, Squiggly, believe it or not. And we've been through some stuff. We've been through ups and downs, many ups and downs with this stuff. But I don't know, we found this weird happiness with it for the first time. Seems like a while.
And what you say about that economy, that doesn't just affect small bands. That goes through, through the bigger bands as well. I remember watching the Metallica video, and that one part where Jason's making sandwiches. They're like, he's making sandwiches because he's too cheap to order room service. He's like, hey, they ask him, you're making millions of dollars and you're making sandwiches. He goes, I got plans for those millions, and it's not for sandwiches. I love that part. I was like, that's it. That's the bottom line right there.
Yeah, we went to we played a festival somewhere. I think it was in Johnson City, and Seven Dust was the headliner.
Okay.
And Tantric, the band Tantric, was standing around outside backstage, and we were standing around back there talking to them. And the bass player goes back to the camper, and he comes back, and he's got a cup of ramen noodles, He's like, I can't afford to eat. They're chomping down these ramen noodles, And that was years ago. That's back when things were better than they are now, Maybe.
Right.
It's progressively gotten worse in the world than it was then,
Yeah, but you gotta love that ramen,
Oh yeah.
My kids grew up on that stuff, and I was like, how are you guys, why don't you eat anything else? It's like, no, this is fine. This is fine. Yeah. So it's all cool. It's all good as long as you're eating, and well, that's fine with me.
It's like I can't afford to eat anywhere else. I'm eating ramen.
Right.
It's
right.
Funny
Yeah. Well, let's see. Where can people find you guys? I mean, let's get a shout out there to the people.
We are everywhere. Willie stiff or not, we should. We're on Pandora. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube at Shallowpoint Official. We have our website, shallowpointofficial.com. On Facebook, it's just plain Shallowpoint. We're actually on TikTok now. We've done really well on TikTok. I mean, like, our songs have had, one of them's had like 40,000 plays.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, I know. And I've only been on there since maybe October or something like that. I couldn't stand the thought of TikTok. I'm not a video person. I don't like, look at me, hey, here I am. I'm just not like that. I'm not the kind. And so I kind of misconstrued what I thought TikTok was about. But as a band, we've done very well on there. Cool. So we're on there too.
Right. Well, it's been a great time talking with you, Heather. You guys are awesome. I mean, I really enjoy everything you guys are doing. I know when we first met, it was because I was promoting an album that I was working on, and you started to promote it, along with me and sending it out, and I really appreciated that. I mean, that was our initial meeting, and that's it's been 7 years, and I'm looking forward for another 70.
I know, I always laugh inside. I know your real name. I know your real name. Most people don't know your real name.
Well, that's funny because I know yours too.
Yeah.
But that's cool. That's cool.
Well, I love your. I call it a stage name. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it was the first thing that popped in my head, and my wife looked at me. She's like, I don't like that you changed your name to that. I was like, what? Why? She's like, well, because now I can't find you when we're on Facebook. I was like, well, I'm in the other room. Just come over here. What do you want?
That's hilarious. I remember when you actually changed your name, and I think you made a comment on my thing. I was like, Bickley Myers, who's that? I didn't know who you were. I had to look at your picture. Because I'm really aware of who's on my Facebook these days, because, and most people that's on there have been on there forever, so I know them. But whenever a new name pops up, a lot of times people do change their names on there. And,
right.
It's funny to do. They'll be like, oh, I know you. You're safe.
And what's funny is that after I changed my name, that's when things started just opening up. I mean, I got into Rock the Alphabet. From Rock the Alphabet, I ended up on MM Radio. Now we're doing interviews and doing live interviews. We're going to be doing some going out and checking out venues and promoting some venues for bands to go look. So
Awesome.
I'm like, man, if I hadn't changed my name, I wouldn't be here now.
That's right.
It's all in the name.
Sometimes it's just something like that. It's all it takes because it's a catchy name,
Yeah.
I have a lot of people ask me, and they're like, "Is your last name really Shallowpoint?" And I'm like, "No, that's a fake name. If I put my real name on here, I'd have people at my doorstep, but I don't want that."
Right. Well, I had my real name on there for a long time, and no one came to my doorstep anyway, so I changed it, and now I got people knocking. So it works both ways. It works both ways.
You'll be famous quickly on social media because that's the way it goes.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and it's been a great time talking with you guys. And
I want to say that we really appreciate you. I appreciate your friendship and all your support through the years. You've been an amazing friend, and we really appreciate you. I mean, Chuck doesn't talk much or anything, but he knows your name. He knows who you are because I've said it before.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's great. It's been a pleasure. Helping you guys out. I mean, I've always grown up with a lack of support. So when I have what I do for others is because it's what I was growing up. I was taught, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And a lot of times in this world they get that refrain mixed up because they want to do it to others before they do it to you, and that's not what it's about,
That's not how it goes.
But whenever we can, whatever we can do to help promote Shallowpoint, you guys, your videos, that's awesome, man. We'll save that one for another interview. I want to ask about your video and how you guys do that, but we'll leave that for later. Give people something to to look forward to.
Anytime you want to talk, we can do this again. I have no problem with that, so you just let me know.
We'll do this after your album is released to help promote it. How about that?
That would be awesome. Yeah, that would work.
Hi, this is Kay Cook Abbott from Saturday Country, and you are listening to The Squiggle Spin with my good friend, Squiggly Myers.
All right, music lovers. Today's featured song is Self-Inflicted by Shallowpoint. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please clear the mosh pit while our staff cleans up for the next featured artist? That's right, music lovers. Today we are diving into Shallowpoint's Self-Inflicted. This metal carnival of sound, music lovers, is an energy drink of a song. With its infectious guitar hook, it hits you like only a heavyweight champ could. The rhythm section in this song churns like a mining drill digging deep into our subconscious mind. The heavy guitar hook seems to entrance the listener as it mimics the chorus's melody, while the bass and drums shake the foundation to the core. Add to this the powerhouse Rob Zombie-like vocals of frontman Chuck Shallowpoint, and you have an anthem of a song. Shallowpoint's Self-Inflicted is a song that can go round for round with metal giants Slipknot, Disturbed, and White Zombie, in my humble opinion. Now, as far as the message in tow, you may want to take a deep breath, music lovers. Yeah, this might hurt a little. The message in Self-Inflicted is pretty clear, and it may ruffle a few feathers. But time to time, it's necessary for a little tough love. As the song title infers, this song is a bucket of ice water for those who like to play the victim. You see, music lovers, it's easy to slip into our shells and play the blame game. God knows I've been guilty of doing this many a time. And this song doesn't sugarcoat it. Life, my friends, is a gamble. You shoot your dice and hope for the best. Now, I understand that there are times that you will run into those who will inflict harm. But these moments in our lives should be seen as challenges to overcome, rather than obstacles to avoid. You see, Life isn't perfect by any means, but if we wallow in self-pity, we're really only doing harm to ourselves. Sometimes we just overthink problems. Those that do harm to us have already put us out of their mind, and yet we're stuck in replay. No, my friend, shake it off and move on. That's the yin, now for the yang. This song is also a strong warning to those who, out of selfish ambition, will use people with no regard for their actions. Those who are looking for the easy way out, not willing to put in the work in for themselves. So, you think that by blowing out someone else's candle, yours is going to shine any brighter? I don't think so. Your locust ways will come and devour you in the end, my friend. If you don't change your ways, this will be your bitter end. Of this, you can be sure. Now, music lovers, this is obviously my take on this song. In my humble opinion, I believe that Shallowpoint's Self-Inflicted is a wake-up call to us all. Well, music lovers, that's it for this episode of the Squiggle Spin. I want to thank Heather of Shallowpoint for hanging out with us and sharing her thoughts on music and how the band is coming along. Join us again next week when we will be reviewing another featured song by another featured indie artist. This is Squiggly Myers reminding you, life is short, my friends. Don't forget to turn up the music. Now, let's listen to Self-Inflicted by Shallowpoint here on a station where it's always tasty, MM Radio.